Do you think that an important person from Thélème could have partaken in these soirees?
You're thinking of Mother Cardinal, aren't you? You lot really think we are a bunch of degenerates.
You're hardly a shining example of virtue, my child. Just answer our questions.
Sorry, Father, I don't know the Mother Cardinal, but I strongly doubt she dabbles in that.
You don't think you could recognize her, and you don't think you've crossed paths. What a testimony. Do you know who organizes these parties?
Not really, no. A steward pays me when I go, but I don't see anyone else, apart from the clients.
You can't even give me a single name.
No. The only person who sometimes speaks to this steward is a woman who is always wearing a green coat. She never takes part in the festivities, but the steward rushes over whenever she arrives.
Could you tell us who you saw at the parties?
Rich people, or better. They seemed very rich and important to me, but I don't know them.
This woman in the green coat, could you tell me about her?
She always hides her face and never joins us. Then she disappears into a little office and locks the door.
I see. She is quite important, then. Do you know someone who goes by the name of Candy Cane?
Everyone does. He is a powerful person, so his name makes the rounds.
Have you ever spotted him at these pleasure parties?
In all honesty, I wouldn't even be able to recognize him. I've heard his name before, but that's all.
Admit it, you must know more than you're letting on. It's virtually impossible not to recognize someone while being so close to these influential people, wouldn't you agree?
Please, I'm serious. Despite all the benefits and money, these parties aren't enjoyable in the slightest.
I understand. Thank you for your help.
Be sure not to mention this to anyone. I'd lose my clients if they suspected me of speaking about them, you know.
Greetings. How are you?
So, satisfied?
Yes, rest assured.
I'm delighted. We hope to see you again soon, then. So, satisfied?
Yes, rest...
I'm delighted.
What can I do for you, my child?
I'll see you later, Father.
Take...
Greetings. Have a nice day.
Good day.
Welcome.
What is this?
It's a peep.
On what would we...
On the...
And
a few...
I must be going.
Next.
Can I get you anything? Look who it is.
I'm looking for a woman who comes here. She always wears a long green coat.
Yes, I have seen this coat before, but I have no idea who is beneath it, if that's what you're asking. All I know is that I've seen her speaking to a regular, a steward of the palace who comes to place big orders. Always prime choice.
I have to go. I will leave you to your work. locked. I don't have the key. Good day.
Welcome. You here to wager? To fight?
I'm looking for someone. A woman wearing a big green coat.
Yeah, I know who you mean. She's a good client. She comes in, especially for the big fights, and she has prime information.
Do you know where I can find her?
No, I don't even know her name.
She wouldn't happen to be coming back to collect some winnings, would she?
No, and I can't really tell you when she'll show up next.
I must be going.
Next time, then.
Can I help you?
Yes, actually. I have a small favor to ask.
You don't look like you need money from me.
I know that you know the Mother Cardinal. She borrowed money from you on several occasions. I want to know why.
Where did you find that out? Who told you?
I want to know why she borrows money from you.
Lending money is my job. It's not illegal. And I don't have to give you an answer.
I imagine that the name Candy Cane rings a bell.
Obviously. All of San Mateus knows that name.
Can you tell me about him?
I don't know him personally. We've never been introduced. But rumour has it that he often hangs out in the basement at the Coin Tavern. You ask far too many questions. My guys will make you regret sticking your nose in other people's business.
out our enemies.
Stop! You're gonna kill them! I'll tell you everything. But after that, leave me be and do not come back.
Why is the Cardinal borrowing money from you, and how does she pay you back so quickly?
I have no idea. And to be honest, I don't care in the slightest. All I can do is assure you that she's not helping herself to the city funds, if that's what you're thinking.
How could you possibly know that?
Because San Mateus is rich, but not that rich. With a Cardinal, we're talking about astronomical amounts.
And what's Candy Cane's role in all of this?
I don't know. I really have no dealings with him. We have never met, and I have no desire to. He and the Cardinal have a connection, but I just lend money. I have nothing to do with them. My advice to you is don't get involved. Those two are dangerous.
I would advise you to keep all of this to yourself.
I don't want any trouble. I will be as silent as a stone.
So, how do you see things, my child?
I think that the usurer is lending money to the Cardinal, and very significant sums at that. With this money, she bets on the arena fights while hiding in a big green coat. And she also gives large amounts to a certain Candy Cane, known for fixing fights.
Not only does our dear Cornelia love betting games, but she also wouldn't think twice about cheating to win.
Maybe he's just giving her advice. How can we prove anything?
We can always try asking him. Who knows? Perhaps he will give us an answer.
Welcome to the... Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his divine blessing. Don't... Goodbye. May the Enlightened always keep you in his...
Candy Cane is not here. At least not yet. Remember, my child, the bookmaker told us that he hangs around here at night.
That's true. You're right. Let's come back later.
Here comes our pay, boys!
May the shadow engulf our enemies!
Enlighten, protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Careful, my child. You need healing. Your magic is running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Here comes our pay, boys!
Let's get rid of these money bags.
Your magic is running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies.
Good evening. Are you the one they call Candy Cane?
Who are you?
Desade, legate of the merchant congregation.
A legate, no less. I imagine in these cases, the one accompanying you is the famous Petrus.
You seem to be very well informed. Therefore, you might be able to answer my question. What do you know about a woman in a green coat?
Why would I tell you?
We know that you have business with this woman, and that she is actually the Mother Cardinal.
How did you... You would be better off forgetting that.
That's not exactly the response I'd imagined. But nevertheless, seems rather eloquent.
I told you to forget about it, or you'll soon run into trouble. legate or no legate.
Come on, it was just an innocent little conversation. Goodbye, Mr. Kane.
Bye. And Godspeed.
We have enough information.
Really? Is the fact that she bets on fights that are potentially fixed enough for you?
It's already a huge scandal. Let me just think about it for a little while. I will find a way of putting this information to good use.
I have faith in you, Father.
There you are. And I see that you have brought the Gaius Rad with you.
We could not let the Senged Anadas take all the glory.
I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Ezeld, daughter of Bladnid.
Our objective is located beyond this cliff. The Inquisitors are not expecting us. We have the element of surprise. Let's make good use of it.
We will be as discreet as a group of Dosentats. They won't hear us coming.
Let's find a vantage point to get a better overview of this fort.
So, this is the place where my people are being tortured. I hope we're not arriving too late.
Most of their troops seem to be outside, as if they sense we are coming. The prisoners are most likely inside, in some basement perhaps. And it seems as if there are some in the right wing as well.
In that case, the toughest fights will take place outside. That is where I want to be.
We must strike quickly if we want to make good use of the element of surprise.
Have you thought about how you'd want us to conduct this assault?
We are behind the camp where there are fewer guards. Getting inside will prove less troublesome from this side. We will conduct 2 near-simultaneous assaults. The first larger group will attack from the front to cause chaos in the enemy ranks. As for me, my companions and I will get inside the building from the back and sneak into the basement. We will set as many prisoners free as we can, and use the opportunity to search the building. Once you have eliminated the troops in front of the building, focus on the right wing.
Good. This way we'll attack them from 2 sides simultaneously.
We will conduct the first assault, and then we will go back to intercept the ones who run away.
Excellent idea. Are you ready for the assault?
When it comes to setting our brother free, we are always ready.
In that case, conduct the assault as soon as you're in position.
Let's hurry and reach the prisoners before the Inquisitors kill them all.
Protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
We intervened quickly, thankfully. Let's find the keys to these cells. I don't have the key. Locked. Locked. Wait here for now. We're still fighting outside.
Is it you? Your Excellency de Sade? It is an honor to have you here in our city.
May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out! Take a potion! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
I think that was the last of the Inquisitors. The fort is safe now. We're done here. Let's lend a hand to our allies outside, as there are still some prisoners there.
the Enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies!
I will make you regret to have come to our land.
These prisoners have been dead for days. There's no one left to set free. Let's get out of here. How did the battle go for you?
We prevailed. Your plan was good on Olmonawi.
Congratulations. And we were able to set the prisoners free. They were completely exhausted, but alive.
Do not worry. We will bring them back to Vedluk, so their wounds can be treated. You have shown bravery and righteousness. I will not forget it. I hope to see you in the village again soon.
Glad to see you, my friend. Can I do anything for you?
I must leave you.
Greenblood, my friend. Do you need something?
I must leave you.
What an astounding place.
My mother told me about this place. She said that the village was devoured by the houses of the sons. How could their chief accept this?
All that's left to do is to find Father Justinius.
Hello. I am Lair, the village leader. Well, I was the leader of this village.
Hello. De Sardet. I am the legate of the merchant congregation.
There are Onol Manawi among the Logaed Blau. I did not know that. What do you want from me?
I have to go.
Like so many others.
Welcome to Eden, the lighthouse of faith, harmony, and civilization in these wild lands.
Thank you. De Sardet. I'm the legate of the merchant congregation.
And I am Father Justinius. Delighted. And what may I do for you?
The Mother Cardinal has asked me to investigate the theft of these tablets you discovered.
That's excellent news. The loss of the tablets is a catastrophe. We have to find them at all costs. If you want to learn more about these tablets, you should go ask Sister Eugenia. She supervises the theologians who discovered them, and were also guarding them. You should find her a bit further in the village, with her colleagues.
Who are the suspects of this theft?
The heretical brutes of the village of Vedlug most likely had a hand in this. They must have wanted to please the demons they worship by stealing the holy word from us.
How could they have learned of the tablet's existence?
Perhaps the demons are giving them this power. Unless one of the natives living in the village innocently mentioned them. They are so naive. Either way, I am certain that the heretics are involved in this matter.
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in their divine blessing.
I wonder how my people could accept the priests settling in their home like this.
It all seems a bit too convenient. If we find out some information about the history of Eden, maybe we'll change our view on things. The theft of the relic is probably not a coincidence.
Yori, I have never seen a Renaigse on Olmanawi.
I am busy. If you have questions, go see Sister Eugenia. She's our supervisor.
If you are saying that these tablets bear writings from the very hand of our holy founder, then we must find them. Without them, all our research to trace the life of St. Matthias on this island is doomed to failure. If these savages have stolen them, we will have to...
Hello. The Mother Cardinal asked me to help you find the tablets that were stolen. Can I ask you some questions?
Of course. But hurry, I have a lot to do.
I talked to Father Justinius. He told me that you were supervising the theologians here.
Indeed. It is under my supervision that the research on St. Matthias is conducted.
Whom do you suspect of being the thief?
Alas. I'm afraid there are many suspects. These tablets are priceless relics. Some settlers may have fallen prey to the lure of profit. The heretical natives of Vedlug may have wanted to take them away from us. Or it could have been vengeance by those who had to leave the village.
Where were the tablets the night they were stolen?
We were keeping them in one of the village's shacks. We intended to bring them to San Matthias later. But first, we wanted to examine them in order to obtain as much information as possible. You can go and take a look in the shack if you want to, but I couldn't find any traces of forced entry.
I imagine someone was keeping watch over them.
Of course, we took turns guarding the shack. But some of us can't have taken the task that seriously. If I remember correctly, it was Brother Virgil who was guarding them that night.
Well, thank you for these pieces of information.
I am the one who should be thanking you. Especially if you managed to retrieve the tablets for us.
The Mother Cardinal told me that this village had been developed on the basis of St. Lucius's writings. Are you one of the theologians who helped in its creation?
Yes. I was sent here to confirm that this place is indeed the one described in the writings, and then I stayed.
What was the reaction of the natives when you arrived here?
Most of them were not in favor of us living amongst them. They were afraid we might chase them out of their own village. And there were even more protests once we started talking about searching for traces of St. Matthias. I suppose they thought we would destroy all of their raised stones and other places of superstition.
Were there any confrontations with the natives?
Yes. The warriors of the village attacked us. The Ordo Luminus actually had to intervene. The Inquisition managed to make them run away. The islanders tried to attack again with the support of Vedlug, but we stood our ground. And when Lur, the chief of the village, finally accepted our presence, things calmed down.
Thank you. This information will certainly prove to be useful. Thank you. I will let you work. Greetings, de Sardet. I am handling the investigation into the theft of the tablets. Sister Eugenia told me to talk to you.
I'm Brother Virgil. What would you like to know?
According to your colleague, you were the one in charge of guarding the tablets on the night of the theft. Is that right?
Indeed.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Not really. What I can tell you for sure is it is not one of us.
Well, Sister Eugenia did tell me that the tablets were priceless.
Of course. But our motivation is not the lure of profit. All that matters to us is their value as proof, not the money we could make out of them.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here, and the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
Do you think the culprit could be a native?
Well, since none of us did it, it seems obvious. There aren't many other settlers around here. And the natives knew of the existence of these tablets before we found them. They were attached to them too, in their own way.
They are the ones who led you to them.
Well, we conducted the research, but they helped us find where they were hidden. Some inhabitants of the village are still giving us a hand with our work.
What can you tell me about that night? Did you hear or see anything?
No, nothing in particular. The night was quiet, and then the morning after, we saw they were gone.
Someone had to enter the shack to steal the tablets. How did that happen?
I have no idea. The door was closed in the morning, and the lock was intact.
Well, thank you. I will investigate where the theft took place.
As you wish. But you won't find anything there. And why does it matter, anyway? There were witnesses to the discovery of these tablets. We have all the proof we need. And that's all that matters.
What do you mean?
Now we can prove Saint Matthias lived here. Our actions on this island are justified. To keep rummaging the way Sister Eugenia does will only create more tensions with the natives.
I was not expecting a theologian to say such things. Have you been in Eden for a long time?
2 months, approximately. Back then, there were still some pagan natives in the village. I joined Sister Eugenia's team with some of my colleagues, so we could give them a fresh outlook on things. We arrived straight from Ptolemy, hoping to study some new texts. But once we were here, I understood that my real mission was with the Islanders. We must bring the light to this island.
How are your relations with the natives?
When I arrived, we were still trying to obtain information from them about Saint Matthias, but they were very reluctant to give us any answers. We were also trying to educate them. Our attempts eventually made some of the inhabitants of the village react badly. Most stubborn against our teachings, the warriors, and the marked. The ones the natives call the Onomanawi. They eventually left. And it has proved nothing but a blessing for us. I would like to go back to work now, if you don't mind.
Of course. I will leave you to your work. Goodbye. Father.
I'm glad to see you, my child. What can I do for you?
Tell me about how you created this village.
We did not create it from the ground up. It was built around an existing native village. The islanders called it Vixenagad, which translates to the Village of the Old Sage. We saw it as a sign. The natives had probably chosen this name in memory of Saint Matthias, and everything here fit the description of Saint Lucius. The discovery of the tablets proved us right. So, we decided to rebuild our Eden here, in the spirit of peace and harmony which is described in the scriptures.
Why share this village with the natives?
To replicate and resume the work of our founder, of course. If he came here and managed to convert the natives, then it is our duty to do the same thing. By living side by side with them, it is much easier for us to pass on our teachings.
How well do you get along with the natives who live here?
Very well, of course. Especially since those who opposed our presence left.
Left? To go where?
Oh, to other villages, I imagine. Does it even matter? Those who stayed are on the path of enlightenment. Some of their legends must have been about Saint Matthias. That helped to convince them.
And how well have neighboring villages welcomed you?
With some reluctance, to be perfect. But perfect harmony takes time. But nobody thought...
I must leave you. Goodbye.
May the enlightened always keep you in.
You have returned on Almanawi. Do you need something else?
I've heard a lot of things about this village of Eden, but I'd like to hear your version.
I'm not sure I have the answers to all of your questions, but I'll try.
Tell me about the arrival of the people of Thélème, and how you received them.
The priests were roaming around the village. They were saying that it was the place where their saint had lived. They were asking questions, talking about the Lloyd and all these things. One morning they were building houses next to ours. And we had new neighbors.
The priests told me that they had managed to convert you. How did that happen?
As long as we refused to listen to them, they were violent, and they destroyed some of our sanctuaries. So we let them talk. And now that they think that we love their god, they leave us alone. Some of the things they say are beautiful, and their magic is impressive. But we do not forget our spirits.
One of the theologians told me that you had helped them in their research.
They wanted to find tracks of the old sage, of the one they call Saint Matthias, and they were rummaging through everything. Our Donegad did not want to tell them anything, because the old sage is sacred here. But since they violently interrogated everyone, I thought it wise to guide them to the place where the stones were.
What happened to your warriors? Why did they have to leave the village?
They did not accept the presence of the priests and their questions. They tried to retake the village. They even asked Deirdre, the chief of Vedlug, for her help. So, the priests called the Soul Lasser, the Burning Suns, and they killed many of them. I asked for peace, and the others left us. They wanted to join Vedlug. Perhaps they have done so.
Aren't you angry after all that happened?
No. I mourn those who died, of course, and the Vorstyrent. But this village may be our opportunity.
Your opportunity for what?
For the Renaigse to understand who we are. Not savages, nor monsters, but men, perhaps wiser than they are.
I have to go.
Like so many others.
I knew that the story would be more complex than we'd been told.
The priests separated this village into two parts. The exiles must be broken-hearted, having left their clan behind.
Had they been wiser and accepted their new neighbors, they'd never have been forced to leave.
Either way, the resentment here is strong enough for a theft to occur.
May the Enlightened protect me in this battle!
Faurnde dara grimmederem dar!
May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! Engulf our enemies! Your armor is falling apart! Enlightened protect me in this battle! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your armor is falling apart! May the shadow engulf our enemies! May the Enlightened protect me in this battle! Your armor is falling apart! May the shadow engulf our enemies! shadow engulf our enemies! May the shadow engulf our enemies! Your magic is running out. Take a potion. May the shadow engulf our enemies!